Good morning, everyone. Myself, Prerna Malhotra, Assistant Professor from Maharaja Agrawal School of Management at Maharaja Agrawal University, Baddi. Today, we will be doing a topic of business environment. The topic under this we will be doing is the concept, nature, and significance of business environment and types of business environment. So, first of all, let us see the meaning of business environment. What is business environment? जितने भी आपके सराउंडिंग्स में एक्सटर्नल एंड इंटरनल फैक्टर्स हैं जो अफेक्ट करते हैं आपकी सराउंडिंग को, दैट इंक्लूड्स बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट. So business environment refers to those aspects of the surroundings which affects or influence the operations and determine the effectiveness of the business enterprise. We have different authors who have defined the term business environment. According to Keith Davis, business environment is the aggregate of all conditions, events, and influences that surrounds and affects it. Business environment is an aggregate of the events. It is the sum total of all the events, all the conditions that are existing in our environment, that surrounds the environment and affect the environment. Another author, Andrews, has defined business environment as the pattern of all external influences that affects its life and development. So the business environment is always dynamic, it is changing, and it is uncertain. It is not a constant environment. Changes takes place from time to time. The business environment adjusts itself to these changes, and it is not a constant or a static environment. As it is the sum total of all the factors that are outside the control of management as well as the factors internal to the management which are under the control of management, these factors keeps on changing, and accordingly future is uncertain. We do not know the future. Accordingly, according to the future, the business environment also changes and adapts itself. So business environment encompasses, or it includes, both the factors, internal as well as external factors. Internal factors includes the customers, competitors, suppliers, stakeholders, and external factors includes the governmental factors. These are not under our control. Internal factors are under the control of the management, but external factors are not under our control. These external factors include the social and economic factors, technological factors, economic factors, social factors, cultural factors, and so on. So the business environment refers to external environment and includes the factors outside the firm which leads to opportunities and threats to the firm. Coming to the nature of business environment, from the meaning and the definition, we come up to the nature of business environment. The nature of business environment includes, or we can say it is a complex in nature. Interdependence of the factors are prevalent in the environment, and a business environment is dynamic in nature. It keeps on changing. The factors are interrelated to each other. It impacts the environment. There is a short-term impact as well as a long-term impact on the environment. The business environment is uncertain because we cannot predict the future. Future is uncertain, so the business environment is also uncertain. And relativity. Relativity means it is a relative concept, or you can say the business environment differs from country to country, from religion to religion. Political conditions are different from one country to another country, right? So the complex nature means the business environment includes not a single factor. It is a combination of a number of factors, a number of events or conditions that influences the business environment and impacts the business environment. Interdependence nature says that business environment is made up of different external factors like social, economic, legal, cultural, technological, and political factors, and these factors are interdependent to each other. The economic status of the country affects the development of technology of the rich country, can make sufficient expenditure on the research and development, and this is possible only when the factors are interdependent to each other. Dynamic business environment is constantly changing. It is a dynamic type of environment. It keeps on changing. Technological improvements come up from time to time. There are the shifts in the consumer preferences. The consumer will demand different products at different point of time. They will not stick to a particular choice. Competition will be existing in the market. New competitors will come in the market, and so on. So this says that business environment will not be a static or a fixed environment. It keeps on changing from time to time. Interrelatedness. The different factors of the business environment are correlated or interrelated to each other. Impact. The business environment has both long-term as well as short-term impact. Environment has a different effect on the different firms in the industry. Uncertainty. The future is uncertain. We cannot predict the future. So the business environment keeps on changing. It is difficult to predict the future happenings, especially when the environment changes. Relativity. Business environment is a relative concept because it differs from country to country. For example, I told you that political conditions in the USA differ from those in the China, and it is different when we talk about India. Significance of business environment, or you can say what is the importance of the business environment or the benefits that the business environment gives to us. First is it is a customer focused environment. The environmental understandings or the environmental changes are sensitive to the needs and expectations of the consumers. For example, Hindustan Lever की अगर हम बात करें, FMCG companies की बात करें, they have launched the shampoos, small sachets of shampoo and the other products, and how it is being launched by keeping in mind the wish or the demand, or you can say the preference of the customers, so that it benefits the customer also and it benefits the business enterprise or the organization also in terms of increased sales and ultimately the increase in the profit. Strategy formulation. Environmental monitoring is done before formulating any strategy. The environment is looked up in detail, and accordingly the products or the strategies are formed so that again it benefits the customers and subsequently the benefit to the organization also. Public image. A business firm can improve its image by being sensitive to the environment and responsive to the public. It will increase the goodwill of the company. Good image will be built by being responsive and being sensitive to the environmental forces, the understanding of the environment, and being responsive to the environment. Continuous learning. Environmental analysis serves as a broad-based ongoing education for business executives. It keeps them in touch with the changing scenario. Future is uncertain, you don't know the future. Future is dynamic, the environment is dynamic. So there is a continuous learning taking place from time to time. Give directions for growth. The interactive or the interaction with the environment leads to the opening of new frontiers of growth for the business firms. It gives direction to the firms for the growth and expansion. Change agent. Business leaders act as the agents of change. They create a drive for change at the grassroots level. From the starting level or the grassroots level, the change comes up. The business enterprises are able to they are able to adapt to the changes. They take initiatives of taking change. They take initiatives in any direction and the nature of change. They understand the aspirations of the people. They understand the needs and requirements of the customers and the public, and environmental forces keeps changing after a thorough environmental scanning. Now, when we talk about business environment, we come up to a very important topic, that is the types of business environment. We have two important types, the micro level environment and the macro level environment. Micro, as the term speaks, micro means at a small level and macro means at a large level. So micro environment is the environment that has a direct impact on your business. It is related to the particular area of the business at a small level where your company operates. It directly affects the business process. For example, the customers, the suppliers, resellers, retailers, competitors, and the general public. These are a part of your micro environment. These factors affect your business in some way or the other. They have the ability to influence your daily proceedings and general performance of the company. And still, the effect that these factors give they have is not a long lasting one. It is at a small level. The effect is also at a small or the micro level. The next environment is macro environment. The macro environment is a more general environment of the economy. It has an effect on all the business groups at a larger scale. The groups operates, they performs, makes decisions, forms strategies simultaneously. It is a dynamic environment, which means a business has to constantly change and it has to adapt to the changes that are taking place at a larger level. It consists of the external factors. Microenvironment is the internal environment. It includes internal factors. But macro environment includes the external factors that the company doesn't control. The company has no control on these type of environment. Now, the factors that make up the macro environment are economic factors, demographic forces, technological factors, physical factors, political and legal factors, and social and cultural factors. Now let us see in detail these internal and external, or you can say the micro and macro level environmental factors. The first is micro environment factors. Customers. The customer base is a very important aspect or a factor for any business organization. The company attracts the customers, but the customers purchase your products. The customers are will be highly affecting your environment. So proper customer preference and the needs need to be taken good care of. The customers can be your B2C customers, B2B customers, international customers, and so on. They have the demand, they want the growth, profit, company has to earn the profit. There is an intense competition in the market. So before producing any product or manufacturing any product, the business enterprise needs to look at the customer's viewpoint. Suppliers. If the supplier of a particular product is large or even the only one, they are constantly going to have a big influence on the business success of the business. Suppliers are the very important factor that includes the microenvironmental factors. Resellers. If you decide to sell your product via a third party, or you can say a reseller or a middleman, such as wholesalers are involved, retailers are involved in selling your product, the success of your marketing is going to be very high. And the success of the marketing will depend on these resellers only. So if let's say a certain retail seller has a strong reputation in the market, it will pass on to your product. The product will also be able to be sold easily because the customers know the reputation of the sellers. Competitors. Logically, every business that sells the same or a similar kind of product as you do is your competition in the market. So whenever there are competitors in the market, the sale marketing tactics matter to you a lot. You will produce this products, you will look at the strategies of your competitors, and then you will very critically analyze the environment and then produce the product keeping in mind the competitors. You want to gain an edge over them to survive in the market. So you have to look at your competitors' strategy first of all. And the last micro environmental or the internal factor is general public. The general public is, of course, every business organization has in its best interest to appease to the general public. Every step जो आप लेते हैं, it needs to be taken care with respect to the public. It is an extremely important factor. The how your actions will affect others because of the opinion can be one thing that neither punishes or pushes you towards success or pulls you down from the market. So the general public is a very important in terms of what is the opinion of the public, what is the opinion of the media, and so on. These are the micro environmental factors. These micro environmental factors are under your control. They are at a smaller level. When we come to the macro environmental factors, these are at a larger level. These are not under our control. These are beyond our control. And what are these factors? We have economic factors, demographic factors, technological factors, natural and physical factors, social and cultural factors, and political and legal factors. Economic factors, basically the environment of the economy has an effect on two aspects. एक तो आपके प्रोडक्शन पे इफेक्ट करता है एंड आपकी डिसीजन मेकिंग क्या है, कस्टमर्स क्या डिसाइड कर रहे हैं, क्या डिमांड कर रहे हैं, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली आप क्या प्रोडक्ट उनके लिए बना रहे हैं, that will affect. So some examples of economic factors are business, interest rates, exchange rates. We have inflation and deflation in the market, demand and supply changes. And due to these factors, you have to adjust your production. You cannot change these factors, but you have to change your production according to these factors. Demographic factors includes age, education level of the customers, cultural characteristics, country, religion, lifestyles they are living, and so on. How the income will be influencing your business, how the age factor will affect your business. According to the different age, different products are being produced. Geographical region varies from country to country. We have different geographical regions, and according to these geographical conditions, the business enterprise tries to manage its business. Technological factors, the technology keeps on changing. We have new technologies coming up from time to time. So these factors are related to the skills and abilities that are implemented into production. अब technology नहीं आती है, whether the person is able to utilize his skill and whether he or she is able to implement that skill into the production of the goods, materials that the particular product requires. They are essential and can have a big impact on the business. We have 3D technology coming up, internet connectivities, automations, cryptocurrencies आई थी, ठीक है, wireless chargings आ रही हैं, speed, power of computer calculations are coming up, and similarly new technologies will be coming up in the future generations. So keeping in mind these technological factors, you have to adapt and you have to change your skills and implement them into your production. Natural and physical forces. Every business must take into account the resources and the planet around it. ठीक है, like we have agricultural products that are being produced, forests की अगर हम बात करें, climate change आ रहा है, pollution, weather, availability है non renewable और renewable resources की, survival है कि नहीं है business environment का, and so on. Political and legal forces. The market develops according to the political environment in various areas. This means every business needs to be up to date with such factors so that it is able to make right decisions. This generally includes legal forces like we have copyright law, patents, employment law, fraud law, discrimination law, health and safety law, import-export laws, and so on. So these factors also needs to be considered. And the last macro environmental factor is social and cultural factors. We cannot change these factors, but what we can do is we can adapt to these factors without changing these factors. We need to adapt ourselves. So finally, the social and cultural factors understands that the product that you have to bring to the market have a strong impact on the society. यहाँ पे हम society की बात करते हैं. For example, your production needs to eliminate every practice that is hazardous to the society. The environment should be a socially responsible environment. The factors that are not favorable to the environment, you do not need to put it into your production. There is a wide variety of social and cultural factors. Some of them are purchasing habits of the people, level of education, beliefs, health issues, social classes, and size of the family, growth rate of population. These factors, different lifestyles of the people, expectancy rate, age distribution of the people. These factors are the social factors, and these factors have a very, very long, or you can say a strong impact on the society. So you have to change these factors. You cannot change, you have to adapt to these factors. Thank you. So this was all about the business environment, its importance, nature, and the types. Thank you.